Hey basketball guys, we have news. Let's go to more Los Angeles Lakers news, but first, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like. The Lakers are about to start the season and have not made any changes to their roster. The question remains, will D'Angelo Russell remain with the Lakers or will he be traded to another team? Rumors say he will be traded during the season and the Lakers are waiting for teams interested in the player. The Lakers have been trying to trade the point guard for something better in recent months. In December and January, they tried to send him to the Atlanta Hawks in exchange for DeJounte Murray, but the Hawks were not interested. Rumors are emerging that the Brooklyn Nets and New York Knicks are interested in the player. Whether or not D'Angelo Russell is put on the trade block by the Lakers this season will surely depend on the Lakers added this offseason. Today, we take a look at D'Angelo Russell. No player on this current Lakers roster has a more complicated relationship with the front office than D'Angelo Russell. After playing a huge role for the Lakers in the regular season last year, D'Lo decided to opt into his contract this year, risking the possibility of once again going through what he did last season at the trade deadline. But that's not to say that's exactly a horrid situation for both Russell and the Lakers. In fact, one can argue that there are far worse things a team can do than pay D'Lo $18 million this season. It's just that this current situation the Lakers find themselves in puts both parties in a tough spot. Russell is the Lakers' most favorable trade asset but also their starting point guard. The 28-year-old is the team's best three-point shooter but also can be a defensive liability. Perhaps his best contribution to the table is that he makes LeBron James and Anthony Davis's lives easier, but he's inconsistent, which won't work for a team with a minimal margin of error. That's why the biggest question for Russell and the Lakers this season is whether or not they can find common ground. Is Russell a long-term piece or someone who will just keep signing short-term contracts out of convenience? Whether or not the combo guard will once again be on the trade block will surely depend on his performance this season. The best-case scenario for Russell is for him to consistently produce as he did ahead of the trade deadline last season, when he averaged 22.5 points on 48/46/85 shooting splits along with 6.4 assists. It's not a coincidence that Los Angeles has a record of 24-7 when D'Lo scores more than 20 points. He's at his best when he adds another dynamic to the Lakers' offense by spearheading the offense, knocking down his shots and distributing the ball. There's also a scenario where D'Lo can thrive under J.J. Redick's system, especially since the latter said he plans to run more organized sets instead of random ones. If Redick can maximize Russell's playmaking and shot-making skills, then that'll go a long way for him. After all, the question for D'Angelo has never been about what he can do on the court but his ability to show up when the team needs him to and make up for his flaws on the defensive end. If Russell consistently produces at a high level, he can once again make the Lakers rethink their decision to trade him. It would even be better for him if he isn't on the trade block at all, especially if the Lakers find a way to address the issues that come with having him as their point guard. Ideally, Russell being a fringe all-star or the team's third or fourth best player throughout the season would do wonders for the purple and gold. There's nothing worse than Russell underachieving this season, and that can only happen if his liabilities will be louder than his production. If, say, he averages below 15 points for most games and has a significantly worse shooting season compared to last year when he broke the franchise's single-season three-point record, then that's not going to be good for either him or the Lakers. It also won't be a good look on D'Lo if he continues to underperform in high-stakes games like the last two playoff series against the Denver Nuggets. Remember, the attention is always going to be on these types of games instead of a random one in January. And given Russell's reputation, he can't keep folding in these games to the point that his value depreciates. Especially not while he's on an expiring contract year. The absolute worst-case scenario is if Russell gets traded for the sake of being moved in exchange for pieces that don't really improve the Lakers. That'll be a big loss for both parties and the consequence of them not being able to find common ground. While Redick has yet to reveal what his starting lineup would be, there's no guarantee that Russell will be in it to begin the season. He and Austin Reeves weren't exactly the best defensive backcourt last year, so there's a possibility that Gabe Vincent takes Russell's spot if Redick wants to prioritize a defensive lead-in unit. But either way, he will have a big role this season. He's the best primary ball handler next to James and arguably the best shooter, so he's going to see a ton of minutes right away. Russell will be in charge of spearheading the offense, getting Davis, who Redick said will be the hub of the Lakers system, involved and, more importantly, producing consistently on both ends of the floor. Whether or not he does those three key tasks successfully will determine if he can find common ground with the Lakers moving forward. J.J. Redick, Lakers rookie, could earn rotation spot next season. Lakers head coach J.J. Redick appeared on Zach Lowe's The Low Post podcast on Monday, touching on a variety topics as he prepares to lead the purple and gold. Aside from a relatively surprising reveal of who will be starting next to LeBron James and Anthony Davis, he discussed the team's depth and players who have a chance to earn rotational minutes next season. J.J. Redick, Lakers rookie, could earn rotation spot next season. Redick giving Dalton Knecht a chance. In his rotation remarks, Redick initially pointed out that availability, not depth, was a bigger concern for the Lakers, and that injuries to key contributors would open the door for other players to earn increased opportunities. Among them are the Lakers' young players, and specifically, first-round pick Dalton Knecht, who Redick had high praise for in his interview with Lowe. I actually think based on everything I've seen since Summer League, we're gonna have to make some tough decisions in the rotation because there's a number of guys, younger players, that have really improved over the last 2.5 months, that when we've had our small group workouts and our sort of player development games, that have really played well and have really grown and sort of embraced how we want to play. And they're gonna have a chance to earn a spot in the rotation. Even just with like Dalton Knecht, to me, I told him this the other day, he is in the 1% of shooters. He's in the 1%. He has a skill that is just hard to find. He's gonna have a chance to earn a spot in the rotation. Historically, shooting has been the Lakers' kryptonite, though the numbers improved this past season. The team shot 37.7% in the regular season, 8th in the league, but only nearly 30% in the playoffs, 15th. Adding someone of Knecht's caliber will be vital in that regard, especially if the Lakers make the playoffs in Redick's inaugural campaign.